So, where were we coming from, honey?
We were on in Vathi on Ithaca. It's kind of a large commercial slash touristy harbor.
Yeah, I mean, it was really pretty,
Lots
but
of
it
good
was just a
restaurants.
little bit busy, I would say, and we were looking for something a little smaller, so we went to Kioni, which we heard was amazing.
As you can see above, it's paradise. As we entered the harbor, we saw a small town. So Denise, where are we? Denise loves Kioni.
Kioni.
What can you tell me about Kioni?
It's on the island of Ithaca, and it is in the Ionian Sea in Greece. And look at this view. It's an amazing place.
Yes, it is.
So, anyway, what did you think?
I think Kioni is just amazing. It's a sleepy little town, very laid back, very quiet, but gorgeous. As you can see, I'm getting better at my drone. Haven't flown it into the water yet.
Thank
Actually
goodness.
getting some good shots these days, so practice makes perfect. More to come, but what a great way to see the
Can you see the
water.
kayakers?
Yep, there's a
below?
whole fleet of kayakers down there.
Yeah.
I chased them for a little while. And then we're coming in, the same view that we saw coming in on the boat, we're coming in from the air. In the drone, you can see somebody mooring right there. They're getting ready to back up into the wall where we are.
Yep.
And it's just exquisite little town.
I like the way it just kind of goes up the hillside like that, and I think your drone captured it really well.
Absolutely. We also walked around on those hillsides, so we got to see it from foot as well.
Yep.
But it's just an exquisite town. We were originally going to be here one day. This is day 3,
Yep.
just because we like it so much.
I like too that there's a place to go stern to the wall, and in fact we did end up trying that. I guess we could talk about that
Yes.
in a little bit.
Absolutely. So we did the first 2 nights on the town wall or the town quay, where you step off your boat and you're immediately in the restaurants right along the shore. It's so nice, but on the 3rd night we decided we'd try something different, and that we would try going stern to the rocks. As
Right
you can
there,
see, right
as a
there.
matter of fact.
Exactly. The boats, drop your anchor and back up and
Yep.
swim the line into the rocks, or take a dinghy of the line into the rocks to keep the boat from swinging. So it's
We
exciting.
can explain that because I actually have some footage of it real time, so we can definitely talk about that.
So here's
But in general, I just like the fact that you could just, step off your boat, have a coffee, have lunch, or what have you. There are positives to both, right?
Absolutely. It was a little warmer on the town wall. When we got out to anchor it off of the rock wall, it was much cooler and not quite as noisy. So it absolutely benefits and detriments to both.
Yep.
Nice to be able to have a mix and have your choice.
Agreed. So we'll get a little bit into bed mooring, but at least here you can see people, dropping their anchor, going back. Someone's ready to take their stern lines, which is awesome. And this looks extremely calm, no pandemonium,
Yep.
but of course it's not always like that, right?
This one was textbook perfect, where they dropped the anchor right when they needed to. They adjusted for the crosswind and backed in and stopped right with the chain coming up short. Amazing how on the other side of the bays is where these boats are tied, not to the town wall, but to the rocks and the cliffs. So a completely different idea. You can't just step ashore and tie your lines in. You have to swim them in.
You can swim them in, and then later on you can swim to shore. You can take your dinghy and get all dressed up and go to dinner. So it might take a little bit more effort, but you can still get to these beautiful shops and restaurants and have a great night for sure.
Yeah, the town has many restaurants all along the shore, tavernas, I should say.
Our
Very
favorite
nice.
was Calypso, right?
By far.
Yeah.
So we took a walk to go to a beach to cool ourselves off in the heat. Beautiful walkway, flagstone all the way, and it winds through the trees, shaded all the way. Took us to a secluded beach, which was very nice.
Yeah, there was someone there that cheated though, right? They brought their dinghy. We walked the whole
We
way.
walked, yes.
with our noodles and all.
Yes, I'm the Sherpa. I love to carry stuff. I'm good at that.
You really are. And it's appreciated, let me tell you, because when we got there, we just went out into the water and just relaxed the whole time,
Yeah.
cooling off.
Fortunately, there was a taverna right there at the beach as well, so we were able to have Greek salad for lunch.
Right. Oh, and this is gelatosis. No, how do I say it? How do I say the god?
Gelatosis.
Gelatosis.
I am
That's
gelatosis.
gelatosis. That's what that was supposed to depict, so that you could understand that Corey
god
is
of
the
ice
god
cream.
of ice cream, and
So-
he is headed off on a hike to basically spend the calories so that he can fill them up with.
This is Gelatosis here, speaking to Dionysus, the god of wine. That's a shock. How you doing today?
I'm good. God of gelato.
That's it.
Ice cream.
Here we are at the mills, reminiscent of 3 windmills, panning over to the harbor of Kioni. Lots of action today as lots of boats are coming in. Glad we already have a spot on the wall.
Continued on, we saw another one, and then you can see one right after it.
But wait, there's more.
Yes, exactly.
It was just exquisite. Beautiful scenery. And here we are back in the harbor. This is the 3 for 2 sail. In the afternoon it gets busy where lots of boats descend on the harbor. There were 2 spots left on the town wall, 3 boats vying for it, so they were kind of jockeying and pushing and pulling their way in and out. The one boat took a spot that was room for 2, so the catamaran ended up being an odd man out. He couldn't fit anymore and he had to go somewhere else. The other monohull then was able to squeeze in as well. And this went on for the rest of the afternoon, where many boats would come in looking for a spot, and there's no room at the inn. And they would kind of float about, and
it's just pandemonium, though.
Yeah.
It makes me nervous to think of all the cross anchored. I was just glad not to be part of that.
True. As you can see, there were multiple boats backing up, dropping anchors at the same time, trying to get into the same spot. So it's a first come, first serve, and you know, he who waits loses. So you snooze, you lose. You gotta be
Corey
quick.
watches this stuff like it's a movie. Like what you're looking at right now, he could spend hours just watching these boats come in and vying for positions, and whether or not they get caught in a crosswind, and so on.
Not only could I do. And in fact, while we're narrating this video, I'm looking over my shoulder and seeing 3 more boats vying for spots. So it'll be interesting to see where they go, because there's no spots left, except over here on the cliffs where they have to swim
You're bad,
ashore.
but I mean, I'm sure you're rooting for their success, not their
absolutely.
failure, right?
Absolutely, success. I just like to see how they solve the situation and come up with a place to put their boat for the night. Because now it's getting late in the afternoon and there's not much time to go somewhere else.
Oh look, there's me, and I am swimming a line to shore, because now we've decided to go across the way instead of being on the town wall. And there's you. What are you doing?
I'm taking chains ashore for the other line to put around the rocks so they don't chafe. So I'm not swimming with that, though. I decided to take in the dinghy
I
because
think you would have drowned.
I would sink like a rock.
I think
even
you
though
would.
So
For
we
sure.
have 3 lines ashore, 1 to the midline and 2 to the stern, because there's a strong crosswind. And that secures us, and we have 50 meters of chain out to our anchor off the bow. So we're pretty well settled in for the night after this. But there I go.
Well, how
taking
come you
the
put a
line out.
3rd line out?
That was because of the crosswind, so I put that right to the center of the boat, to the beam. Put that farther out to keep the boat pressure from swinging.
So it's almost like a
stern.
spring line?
Kind of a spring line or a breast line going to the side of the boat. So combination of the 2.
So that should balance the pressure then?
Absolutely.
Assuming that the wind stays from that direction.
Yes, and it's forecasted, and it has the last 2 nights been from that direction all night, where it kicks up between 3 and 5 in the morning where it's howling. And we want to be prepared for that.
So it was a lot faster getting back, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just pull myself back on the it worked out well. So as we're out there rowing now, we have to look out we don't get clothesline, because everyone has these lines. It looks like a cat's cradle with all the lines going from the sterns of the boats. There's probably 15 boats along this shoreline now, where we started out with 3 this morning.
So were you, in general, happy with the outcome?
Oh, absolutely. It was our first day of doing it. Denise did an awesome job. So kind of her to swim in. Fortunately, we did it before there was a crosswind as well, so that was beneficial, and worked out very successfully. So we'll have a nice settled night, so we can go into town tonight. Well, look, there she is in town.
Well, this was the other night, but I expect that we'll be doing the same thing. Did you see my captain's t-shirt?
Yes.
And what t-shirt were you wearing?
I have the lowly crew t-shirts.
I see.
I have to answer to the Capitan.
We actually got stopped by a couple of people. One person even took a photo of me with my captain's shirt and Corey with his cruise shirt. So I felt pretty cool.
Yeah, people aren't used to that. Usually it's the guy wearing that. And there I love Kioni too, so. But back to that, it's a male-dominated sport, so it's nice to see a female, a woman with the captain insignia.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.